Beneath the waves of our ocean 66 million years ago, something ruled that was never meant to be there. Not a shark, not a whale, not some ancient fish. A giant marine lizard, Mososaurus. 17 meters of muscle, double-hinged jaws lined with dagger teeth. A predator so dominant that even other apex hunters disappeared when it arrived. It didn't evolve from the ocean's elite. It crawled out of the dirt and then went back to conquer the oceans. How did a land-dwelling reptile rewrite millions of years of marine evolution? How did it turn itself into the most feared predator of the Cretaceous oceans? To understand that, we have to descend into the abyss, where the Mososaurus didn't just survive, it ruled. If you like videos like this and want to help me out, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now, picture the ocean as a giant rule book. For most of Earth's history, the sea had its own membership requirements. You don't get to be a top predator down there unless you're built for it. Streamlined body, efficient swimming, a design that screams, "I live here." Then Mososaurus shows up like, "Yeah, I'm new, and I'll be taking the throne." The story begins smaller than you'd expect. Early mosasaur relatives were modest coastal hunters. They lived near shorelines in the messy border between land and sea, where waves crash, prey is plentiful, and survival is a daily tax you pay in blood and luck. These animals still had functional legs. They could move on land. They weren't monsters yet. But the late Cretaceous world offered a rare opportunity. Sea levels were high and warm. Shallow seas spread across parts of the continents. North America, for example, was split by a vast inland seaway. Those waters became crowded, productive hunting grounds. In a world like that, being able to thrive in the ocean wasn't just an advantage, it was an open invitation to power. Over time, the mosasaur body began to change in ways that read like a checklist for dominance. Limbs flattened into paddle-like flippers, better for steering and stability than for walking. The body elongated and streamlined, reducing drag. And the tail, the real engine, evolved into a powerful crescent-shaped fin, similar in outline to what you see in fast swimmers today, like sharks and tuna. That tail matters because it suggests a hunting style. Not endless cruising, but short bursts. Ambush, sudden acceleration. The kind of movement that turns calm water into chaos in a heartbeat. If you've ever been in the ocean and felt a shift under you, even if it's just a shadow or a wave, you know your brain doesn't wait for proof. It reacts. Now imagine living in a sea where the shadow might be a bus-length reptile designed for the lunge. And it wasn't just fast, it was equipped. The Mososaurus mouth is where the design turns from impressive to unsettling. Its jaws were flexible, with joints that allowed a wider gape than you'd expect from a reptile skull. And inside, beyond the obvious teeth along the jawline, many mosasaurs had additional teeth on the roof of the mouth, called pterygoid teeth. They angled backwards, providing grip and locking in their prey. That means the bite wasn't a single event. It was a sequence. Catch, hold, drag. Like getting grabbed by a set of hooks and then moved inch by inch into the worst possible place. And here's the thing. You don't need to imagine this in a cartoonish way. You can see hints of it in the fossil record, in tooth shapes, skull mechanics, and the damage left behind. And think about the senses required to make that work. In the ocean, sound travels far, vibrations carry messages, and scent can hang in the water like smoke in a room. We can't measure Mosasaurus's senses directly, but its close relatives and overall anatomy suggest it likely relied on a mix of vision and smell to track opportunities. Many researchers also point out that a forked tongue, like you see in modern lizards and snakes, could have helped it taste chemical trails in the water. Even if it didn't need to be a genius, it needed to be tuned in. Which means the ocean, for its prey, wasn't just dangerous. It was monitored. Every splash, every wounded animal, every frantic school of fish could have been an announcement. And if you've ever tried to stay calm when you feel watched, you already understand the vibe of a mosasaur sea. So what did Mosasaurus actually hunt? A better question might be what it couldn't. Fossil evidence, including bite marks and rare stomach content finds, points to a broad menu: fish, seabirds, squid-like animals, and sea turtles. Some turtles show crushing damage consistent with powerful jaws. Other fossils show tooth gouges on the bones of marine reptiles. In a few cases, injuries on mosasaur bones suggest violent encounters between mosasaurs themselves, including bites that healed, implying combat and competition within the group. That's not just brutality for the sake of it. That's what happens at the top. When you're the ocean's king, the only real threat comes from another crown hunter. Now zoom out with me, because the Late Cretaceous ocean wasn't empty. It had plenty of heavy hitters. Plesiosaurs, including long-necked forms that looked like living periscopes. Pliosaurs earlier on, built like aquatic bulldozers. Sharks, ancient and relentless, already refined by millions of years of ocean life. So Mososaurus didn't become king because nobody else showed up. It became king because it fit the moment better. Its body plan offered speed and control. Its jaws offered a grip that ended arguments quickly. And its adaptability let it exploit prey types across the ecosystem. In modern oceans, the top of the food web is crowded. Orcas, large sharks, big predatory fish, each with a different specialty. The Late Cretaceous sea still had variety, but mosasaurs rose into a level of dominance that shaped the entire community around them. When a predator is that influential, everything else evolves in response. Faster swimming, better armor, new behaviors, new hiding strategies. It's an arms race, and Mosasaurus came in with a head start. One of the most fascinating parts is that mosasaurs weren't a single blueprint. The group included many species, with different sizes and tooth designs. Some had teeth better for slicing and gripping fish. Others had sturdier teeth for crushing shells. That diversity suggests they occupied multiple niches, spreading the mosasaur brand across the ocean like a franchise of fear. And that's where the global story kicks in. Mosasaurs have been found on multiple continents, including regions that are far apart today. In the Late Cretaceous, those seas and seaways connected habitats and allowed marine animals to spread widely. Mosasaurs took advantage of that connectivity. Their fossils show up from North America to Europe and beyond, and even in high-latitude regions, including Antarctica, during a time when climate conditions were different from today. So for millions of years, there was no single safe neighborhood in the ocean. If you were a marine creature back then, the water itself had a ceiling of sunlight and a basement of darkness, and somewhere between those layers, mosasaurs patrolled. And when I say patrolled, don't picture a neat line on a map. Picture a 3-story predator moving through green water like a submarine with a heartbeat. The surface might look peaceful, but a few body lengths down, the light thins out, colors drain away, and the ocean becomes a hallway with the lights turned off. That's the first psychological advantage. You don't see it coming. This is the part where your imagination helps the science. Even in relatively shallow Cretaceous seas, murky conditions and suspended sediment could make visibility unpredictable. A hunter built for quick acceleration doesn't need a clear view of the whole room. It needs a moment, a silhouette, a mistake. Now add the pressure of the environment itself. Water presses in from every side, and the deeper you go, the more it feels like the ocean is trying to squeeze the air out of the world. You and I aren't built for that. Mosasaurus was. It lived inside that pressure like it was normal weather. That alone is a reminder that the rules down there were never written for humans. And if you're wondering how we're so confident about its swimming style, it's not guesswork pulled from thin air. Scientists look at the shape of the vertebrae, the muscle attachment points, and the proportions of the tail region. They compare mosasaurs with modern fast swimmers and with earlier marine reptiles, and they test how those bodies would move through water. The consistent picture is a predator that could surge. It's also worth remembering that Mosasaurus didn't mean anything to the animals living with it. The name comes from us. Early remnants were found near the Moose River close to Maastricht, and the discoveries became famous long before anyone had a full understanding of what the creature truly was. Imagine being one of the first people to pull those bones from rock. You'd know it was huge. You'd know it was built for biting. And you'd also know instantly that the ocean once had a resident you wouldn't want to meet. Let's do a quick mental walkthrough, because this is where the story becomes personal. Imagine you're a turtle in that world. You've got armor, sure, but armor only matters if the predator can't crack it. Now imagine the soundless approach of a hunter whose teeth and jaw strength were built to test shells. Or imagine you're a fish living by speed and timing. One mistake, one moment too close to the wrong shadow, and you're in the jaws of something that doesn't let go. You don't get a second chance. There's no almost. And if you're another marine reptile, bigger and tougher, you might think you're a rival. But rivalry at the top doesn't look like movie duels. It looks like ambushes, bite marks, and scars that heal, if you're lucky. The fossil record captures that world like a crime scene. Bite marks on bone, crushed shells, teeth embedded where they shouldn't be. Each piece of evidence is small, but together they describe a sea where violence wasn't rare. It was normal. And then, after millions of years of dominance, Mosasaurus disappears. Not because it got outcompeted, not because it failed the evolutionary test, but because the planet changed the rules overnight. About 66 million years ago, the Chicxulub asteroid impact hit what is now the Yucatan Peninsula. The aftermath was catastrophic. Immense tsunamis, fires, and a cascade of environmental effects that disrupted sunlight and climate. When ecosystems collapse from the bottom up, top predators fall first, not because they're weak, but because they depend on everything below them. So mosasaurs, along with many other groups, vanished in the mass extinction at the end of the Cretaceous. And their absence left a vacancy at the top of the ocean food web. For a long time afterward, the seas lacked giant apex predators of that scale. Eventually, sharks diversified into new forms, and much later, mammals returned to the water, evolving into whales and dolphins. Over millions of years, those lineages produced the ocean giants we know today, from massive baleen whales to highly intelligent hunters like orcas. But the question lingers, and I think you've probably asked it in your head already. What if mosasaurs had survived? Would whales have risen the same way if they had to share the ocean with a 50-foot reptile built for ambush and grip? Would sharks have spread into the same roles? Or would the modern ocean's top tier look completely different, ruled by creatures we'd barely recognize? Because the ocean has known many predators, but few rewrote its rules so completely. For millions of years, Mosasaurus didn't just live in the sea, it owned it. And the ocean doesn't forget. It buries, it preserves, it waits. So the next time you look out over a calm surface, remember that calm is only the top layer of the story. Down below, the dark holds older chapters, written in teeth and bone, and we're still flipping pages. And honestly, that possibility is equal parts thrilling and deeply unsettling, isn't it? And that's why this story sticks. It's not just about a monster from the past. It's about how fast life can reinvent itself when the door is cracked open. One era's shoreline lizard becomes another era's ocean tyrant. So when you think you understand the sea, ask yourself, what new ruler would you even recognize if the rules changed again? Let us know in the comments what video you want to see next. And don't forget to leave a like and subscribe.